Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing an Evil Twin deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful deck that's super consistent and can link summon out some awesome monsters. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name screwed in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill. This card is an amazing normal summon with a really powerful effect. Each time an opponent's monster clears an attack, you gain 500 life points. And if this card is normal or special summon, and you control no other monster, then you can special summon a Lila monster from your hand or deck. And you can only use effect this card once per turn, but that's an amazing effect to be able to get a copy of Lila on your side of the field, so you can start link climbing in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Live Twin Lila. Live Twin Lila is a definite 3-of in the build and shares a similar effect to your copy of Kiss-a-Kill, but it has the ability that your opponent must pay 500 life points to declare an attack. And if this card is normal or special summon and you control no other monster, then you can special summon a copy of Kiss-a-Kill from your hand or deck, which is really cool that you get to special summon out each other to your side of the field when you normal summon one of them to your side of the field, so you can basically get into some link plays, which is absolutely amazing. We then play 2 copies of Kiss-a-Kill Frost. This card is an amazing extender in the deck and a definite 2-of in this build, and if you control a copy of a Lila monster, then you can special summon this card from your hand, but you can only special summon this card once per turn this way. And if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand by a card effect, while you control an Evil Twin monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard to draw a card, which is a really cool ability just to help you draw a card, which is just absolutely amazing. We then play a single copy of Lila Treat. Lila Treat is a really good extender in the deck, but you only need a single copy of this card. It has the ability to control a copy of a Kiss-a-Kill monster. You can special summon this card from your hand. And when either player takes damage from a battle involving an Evil Twin monster, you can banish this card from the graveyard and then target one face-up monster opponent controls, and it loses attack equal to the battle damage, which is a really cool ability for this card to have. We then play a single copy of Evil Twins, Kiss-a-Kill, and Lila. This card is a really cool 1-of in the deck that works really well with your copy of Trouble Sunny, but it also is a really big boss monster that you can summon to your side of the field if you do draw into it. It has the ability that cannot be normal summoned or set, it must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by attributing 2 link monsters. And if this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect that if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, they must send some to the graveyard so they only control 2 cards, which is a really cool effect about this card, almost like an evenly match, which is just absolutely amazing. It also has the ability to only use effect this card once per turn, and then while you have a Kiss-a-Kill monster in your graveyard and a Lila monster in your graveyard, this card gains 2200 attack and defense points, pushing this card all the way up to 4400 attack and defense points, which is absolutely amazing. We then play 3 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is absolutely amazing this format and just really helps you break your opponent's board, which is why we're playing this card as a 3-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's a definite 3-of in the deck just to stop your opponent from touching the deck, and it's a really powerful hand trap. We then play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is really good at stopping your opponent from basically using a monster effect, and it's just really good right now. We then play 3 copies of Drollin Lockbird. Drollin Lockbird is an amazing card at basically stopping your opponent from searching anymore for the rest of the turn, and the really cool thing about Evil Twins is there's so much room for hand traps and tech cards in this build. Being able to play around 15 hand traps in the deck is just absolutely insane, and these are the best ones to be able to play this format, and it's just absolutely crazy the amount of hand traps that you can actually fit in this deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is a definite 1-of in the deck to basically stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play 3 copies of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is an amazing 3-of in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from hand trapping you, because we're pretty much playing every hand trap in the game in this deck, which is just really amazing. From the copies of Droll, Effect Veiler, Ash, Nibiru, and even later on Infinite Impermanence, we're basically not going to get hand trapped with a copy of Called by the Grave and 3 copies of Cross That Designator, it's going to make sure that we're going to go through our plays, and these cards are very important in the deck. Speaking of getting hand trapped, we also play 3 copies of Triple Tactical Talents. This card is really good in the deck to help you draw. Basically, take control of an opponent's monster or look at your opponent's hand and choose 1 card from it and shuffle it into the deck. This card is really powerful in the deck, and basically with these cards, you're always going to have an answer to the opponent, and they're really powerful in this build. We then play a single copy of Live Twin Home. I feel like 1 copy is really all you need in the deck. It lets you discard a card to special summon a Kiss a Kill monster or a Lila monster from your deck. Also, for the rest turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Evil Twin monsters, which is a little bit of a downside, but it's still really good as a 1-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Secret Password. Secret Password is really good in this deck as a 3-of. It's to let you add a Live Twin or an Evil Twin spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is amazing to be able to do because we can search out cards like Live Twin Sunny Snitch or even Live Twin Home. It also says that if you control a Kiss a Kill monster and you control a Lila monster, you can add an Evil Twin monster from your deck to your hand instead, making this card basically a Rhoda, which is just really, really good. We then play 3 copies of Sunny Snitch. Sunny Snitch is almost like a Trickstar card, which is just really interesting about this card, but it's also a Rhoda. Because when this card is activated, you get to add a Live Twin monster from your deck to your hand, and then while you control an Evil Twin monster, each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you gain 200 life points, and if you do, inflict 200 points of damage to your opponent, and you activate 1 of this card per turn. But it's a really cool card in this deck to basically just do burn damage to your opponent, also putting the gap between our life points and our opponent's life points even further and further apart so that we can go in for game. And it's a really amazing time card as well, but being a Rhoda makes it a definite 3-of in the deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Evil Twin Challenge. I really like this card as a 1-of in the build because it just helps out a lot overall in the deck. It lets you target a Kiss a Kill monster or a Lila monster in your graveyard and then special summon it. Then you can apply the following effect to immediately as effect resolves, link summon 1 Evil Twin Link monster using monsters you control as material, which can be really helpful. Being able to bring back 1 of your monsters from the graveyard is just really, really nice. Plus this card is searchable. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is the 15th hand trap we were talking about earlier, and this card is really good in the deck just to stop your opponent's monster effects. Between this card and Effect Veiler, it's probably not going to be very, your opponent's not going to be going off with a lot of monster effects because we have so many different answers to our opponent with this build, which is just absolutely amazing, which is what makes this deck so good because it's so consistent with the Kiss Kill Lila monsters, and then all the hand traps you can fit in this deck is just insane. This deck is super fun to be able to play, especially with basically having 15 hand traps, and with the copies of Triple Tactical Talents in the deck on top of that, you can fit about 18 hand traps if you wanted to into the deck, but I feel like these 15 are all you really need. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Trouble Sunny. Trouble Sunny is our insane boss monster that's super easy to summon to our side of the field. It takes 2 monsters, including an Evil Twin monster, and has the ability quick effect. You can tribute this card to be able to special summon up to 1 Kiss a Kill monster and 1 Lila monster from your graveyard, which is really good to basically tag this card out and be able to summon out your copy of the Evil Twin Kiss a Kill and Lila, which is really amazing to help you go in for game, because you can even do that during the battle phase so that you can basically swing in for more damage. It also says that you can manage this card from your graveyard and then send an Evil Twin monster from your hand or deck or face up from field to graveyard to send 1 card on the field to the grave, which is amazing because it's not even targeting, which is so cool. And a really cool thing is to be able to send your copy of your Evil Twin Kiss a Kill and Lila from your deck to the graveyard to be able to use that effect, and it's just absolutely amazing. I love this card as a 3-of in the deck, and you'll usually roll through at least 2 of them in a game. We then play 3 copies of Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill. Kiss-a-Kill is amazing as a 3-of in the deck, and has a really cool ability. If this card is special summon and you control a copy of Lilla monster, then you can draw a card. And during the main phase, if you do not control a copy of a Lilla monster, quick effect, you can special summon a Lilla monster from your graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck for the rest turn except Fiend monsters, which is totally fine because we usually just play Fiends anyways. A couple of Cyvers, but mostly Fiends. We then play 2 copies of Lilla. Lilla is amazing, but you really only need 2 copies of Lilla. This card has the ability, if this card is special summon, and you control a copy of a Kiss-a-Kill monster, then you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. And during the main phase, if you do not control a copy of Kiss-a-Kill, then quick effect, you can special summon a copy of Kiss-a-Kill from your graveyard. Also, you get locked into Fiend monsters from the X deck for the rest turn, just like your copy of Kiss-a-Kill, which is not that big of a deal. We then play a single copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code is really good in the deck because it's very easy to make, and especially being able to pop multiple cards on the field is just absolutely amazing. We then play a single copy of Transcode Talker. This card makes it super easy to OTK your opponent, and it's just absolutely amazing in this build because it's just a really good card overall in the deck. It's really amazing how powerful this card is in the build, and it's just really, really good. We then play a single copy of Lingaribo. Lingaribo is really good in the deck, basically just to eat trap cards, which is why we play this card as a 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Sky Cavalry. Sky Cavalry is great as a 1-of in the build to be able to make this card so we can step into our copy of Downer Magician and then step into a copy of Zeus so we can basically board wipe our opponent. Finally, play a single copy of Typhon. Typhon was made for this deck because it is a Fiend monster and it's just so easy to summon. It's basically a walking balance and it's just ridiculously good in this deck. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoy it. This is a really fun deck to be able to play. If you guys have never played Live Twins or Evil Twins before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's just absolutely amazing how powerful this deck is, especially with the amount of hand traps you can fit into it. It's just really, really fun. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoy this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.